Welcome to Ramadan Ready, where we answer your questions about this month. Now, Dr. Shabir, a common question that people might have, especially if they live in the northern parts of Canada, like let's say Nunavut or something, is how do I fast? Like, my day is just way, way too long. You know, it could be more than 20 hours near the Arctic. So, Dr. Shabir, what are your thoughts on that? What should people do?
Yeah. Well, if you live in the far north, like Iqaluit or Nunavut or somewhere like that, then naturally you need a solution. And two solutions have been proposed by Muslim scholars. One is that you follow the timings in a nearby town that is more manageable. And the other option is to follow, they say, the timings of Mecca or Medina. And Safiyyah, I think the difficulty arises because of the way in which the paradigm came to be established. You see, the Quran says that it was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, لِيُنذِرَ أُمَّ الْقُرَى وَمَنْ حَوْلَهَا, so that he may warn the people of the mother city and what is around that mother city. Mm-hmm. Now, the mother city is Mecca. And now, when the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, migrated to Medina, he followed the times based on the observations from his vantage point in Medina, sunrise, sunset, and so on. That was their clock. And we tended to think that the paradigm is that wherever you are, you follow the observations from your vantage point, whether sunrise and sunset and so on. You organize the prayers around that, you organize the fasting around that. But if we were to look at it differently and say that the original paradigm is actually that you follow the timing of Mecca, and then if you move away from Mecca, you can follow your local times, if that is more convenient for you than to check with Mecca and find out the timing of Mecca, especially in the days of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Imagine sending a horse rider to find out, what is the timing in Mecca to start or break your fast or whatever. So you follow your own times. Because that's more convenient for you. And so wherever Muslims branched out, if the idea was that they are allowed to follow their own times, but really the original situation is to follow Mecca, then it's a whole lot different. Because now the problem for somebody in Nunavut or Iqaluit or in any one of the northern cities is to think, okay, man, we have a problem. So what is the solution for that problem? Whereas if we thought it in this way, if we thought about it in this way, that the original requirement is to fast and pray according to the times of Mecca, meaning having a regular day as in Mecca, then and thinking that you just have a permission to follow your local times if that's convenient for you, then the problem is solved, because when it's not convenient for you, you just go back to the original paradigm, which is to follow the timing in Mecca. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, people always are left with this kind of lack of satisfaction, because it looks like it's almost like we've done something wrong to move too far north. It looks like this was not the divine intention, that we should be up north and fasting. But if we think that it is the original paradigm is that we have a day in which we organize our prayers and our fasting with roughly 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night, as it was in Mecca, then there is no problem. It's just that we come to realize that because we're far north, it's no longer convenient for us to follow our own times. So we follow the original, which is the timing of Mecca.
So can we just say, like, let's say we live in northern Canada, we say, like, we're just gonna fast for 12 hours a day. Is that possible?
Well, we wouldn't say 12 hours per day, though that might be one solution that some people can propose. But I'm proposing something simpler. I'm saying, get the timetable of Mecca, the timetable for Fajr, timetable that's the morning prayer, timetable showing the evening prayer, the sunset time. And just go with that. You start your fast before the Fajr prayer. You break your fast after the Maghrib prayer. So that becomes a simpler method. And because the timetables are available now, anyone with an online collection could go to a website like IslamicFinder.com, find out the timing of Mecca, or for any city in the world for that matter, the timing of sunrise and sunset. So it's at our fingertips. It's on our smartphones. then we don't have to generate the prayer chart for our own city anymore. We can follow the prayer chart of Mecca. And because that is the original paradigm, it actually works for any city in the world, wherever you are, whether north or south. And it just simplifies the whole process, and it lifts that burden off of Muslims in thinking that, okay, we're getting a concession, but should we take the concession? Are we like cheating by taking that concession? Shouldn't we be brave and fast the 22 hours regardless, and let God take care of our bodies because God is our protector? So people have these kinds of misgivings and inner turmoil and inner conflicts that are going on. But if we had thought it through in this way by saying, wait a minute, the original paradigm is for us to fast a day similar to the days of Mecca in terms of length, and organize our prayers and get our sleep and so on in a similar way according to the times which are regular in Mecca. And then when we move away from Mecca, whether we're in Medina or we are in Jeddah or Riyadh or wherever we happen to be in Saudi Arabia or outside of Saudi Arabia, if it's too inconvenient for us to go find out the time in Mecca, and it's more convenient for us to notice the changes in the observed natural phenomena where we are, then you follow the timing where you are because that's more convenient. It's not because it's required to follow the time where you are. It's more convenient to follow the time where you are. But when it's no longer convenient to follow the time where you are, you go back to the original requirement, which is to fast a day similar to the days of Mecca. And the simple way to do that now would be to get the prayer timings from Mecca, to know your Fajr time, your Maghrib time, pre-dawn, your dawn prayer, your sunset prayer. And you start your fast before the dawn prayer, you break your fast after the sunset prayer. So that's a simpler way, and it lifts the burden. It just frees the mind of the Muslim to worship God in good conscience and with pleasure, and without a sort of an inner conflict.
All right, thank you for that, Dr. Shabir.
You're welcome.
And that's all the time we have. Join us tomorrow for another episode of Ramadan Ready.
Our videos reach people all over the world. We hope you will seize the opportunity to share in the reward from God. Please support us today.